Before I start, here are some updates from last time. I changed my mind. Croven is no longer my ideal stand-in for 87546. However, I'll save the identity of the replacement for another time. Meanwhile, I am reconsidering my ideal Percy, while Gordon's installment will feature both him and his A3 brethren, Flying Scotsman and Flying Thistle, and I have yet to complete the revamp of my A3 models. Until then, let's try one of the more simplistic models of my ideal, Oliver, and by extension, his coaches. At first I struggled to figure out where to place Oliver in my ideal universe, until I started working out my ideal Normanby branch line. While in my TV series universe, it appears as a placeholder for the Bluebell Railway with Stepney. In a top-to-bottom do-over of the universe, that would never happen. Then I remembered how in the RWS the Normanby branch line was jointly run by the LMS and later British Rail. I researched if the LMS had any push-pull tanks, and I was introduced to the LMS Stanier 2P044 tank of 1932, and immediately thought of Oliver. Besides, I think Oliver only mentions being Great Western only once in Season 7, if you like to determine that as canon, while the Arlesburg branch line being called the Little Western did not have to mean it could be run by Great Western engines. After all, the Scottish twins occasionally make trips along the line. Instead, the name could refer to it being a short line along the west coast of Sodor. Plus, I thought it would be a good idea to give Oliver LMS Maroon similar to Arthur. Since Barry exists in my ideal universe as a 2MT, like Arthur, that makes Arthur redundant. More on Barry another time. Here's the backstory for my ideal Oliver. Oliver was built in 1932 alongside the rest of the 2P tanks. He was allocated to the Normanby Spiral on Sodor that was bought up by the former Furness Railway, later LMS property. Oliver ran the line with two coaches named Dulcie and Isabel. Oliver one night discovered the tracks beyond Ballyhoo behind his shed was a blocked-off section to the abandoned city of Waterton. However, the LMS and later BR would have no interest in the small section, as according to the archivists, it was proven uneconomical and closed during the Great Depression. Oliver wanted to see beyond, but had to keep working what he had. Jump ahead to 1963, the beaching cuts threatened to close the entire line and scrap all remaining stock, including Oliver. Sir Topham Hatt was opposed to BR's rationalization and acquired the line alongside Oliver and his coaches, and made a deal with BR to separate when steam traction ends in 1968, in the form of privatizing. While a revamp of the line took place, Oliver showed Topham the line to Waterton. He was amazed and planned to reopen the line to Waterton. During the reconstruction, Oliver was trialed on goods trains but struggled due to him pulling passenger trains his whole life. He was paired up with a towed brake van to improve his skills. Oliver at first fails until he succeeds. Topham informs Oliver that the old copper mine in Waterton was due to reopen and asks Oliver if he would like to run this. He agrees, but asks, what about the passengers? Little did he know Topham had a backup plan. Topham trialed and purchased a diesel rail car from Metro Camel to look after the passengers. At first, Oliver was opposed to this. However, after some time, he got along well with the rail car named Daisy. But what about Isabel and Dulcie? They became backup coaches for the branch line and occasionally would be used if Oliver ever had to take over for Daisy during repairs or overhauls. While Oliver is painted in NWR green during his first group of years, after his next overhaul he requested LMS Maroon instead. He could not make up his mind on which though, so once every 2 to 3 overhauls he switches between the two, similar to the engines on the Tallyclin Railway. But what about Oliver's famous escape? I'm going to save that story for a different character. I decided to go for a more Tipfield Thunderbolt style approach with Oliver. Finally, considering Oliver works on a coastal branch line with Daisy in a pseudo-heritage livery, that makes Ryan from the CGI series redundant. As for the model, I already had a model of the very similar looking LMS Ginty and changed the wheel configuration and narrowed the running plate to match the reference pictures. As for Isabel and Dulcie, they are regular suburban brake coaches, since most push-pull coaches look no different to regular coaches. The only difference is the enlarged front windows for the driver to see. As for the whistle, it is consistent with its TBS counterpart. If you like listening to my ideal and seeing my models, leave a comment saying which character I should cover next. Although, based on last time and now, I'm not going to promise anything for next time.